What if I told you that perhaps everything you've learned about manifesting is wrong? That it's not about chasing, but about pausing and allowing? Eva Hartley's book, Manifest and Receive, hasn't just changed lives, it's shattered paradigms. Thousands have discovered that it's not desperate striving that begets results, but vibrational presence. They've learned that gratitude before seeing isn't delusion, but spiritual technology capable of collapsing time. And they've understood that waiting isn't delay, but rather part of a divine timing that prepares and protects. Prepare yourself, because today we're going to open these pages in a different way, without confusing mysticism, without empty promises. We'll go straight to the essence that has transformed destinies. And I tell you, if you watch until the end, you'll perceive manifestation not as an isolated ritual, but as a magnetic lifestyle, where abundance, love, and peace cease to be goals and become who you are. Chapter 1. Inspired action versus desperate action. It's not necessarily by chasing that you'll attain. Often, it's precisely when you cease the chase that things begin to gravitate towards you. This is the first key, to manifest not through exertion, but through presence. The world has instilled the notion that sweat and urgency yield results, yet the spiritual truth diverges. Energy speaks louder than desperate action. When one acts out of fear, insecurity permeates the universe. It's akin to shouting, "I do not trust," even while reciting affirmations of faith. The consequence? Blockage. The universe mirrors your identity, not your superficial desires. If your identity is urgency, the return will be more waiting. If your identity is lack, scarcity will proliferate. This is not punishment, it's vibrational coherence. Consider a radio station. If the frequency is despair, the music that plays will be chaotic, even if you desire to listen to something soothing. Manifestation is tuning in. No matter how much you twist the volume knob, effort, if you don't adjust the tuning, energy, the right music won't come. Such is life. Everything is energy, and you don't receive based on what you request, but on what you broadcast. Herein lies the crux. You are perpetually manifesting, even the undesirable. Stark, isn't it? Yet liberating. For if all is responsive to the subconscious, the power resides in reprogramming the vibrational route. Those who relentlessly pursue happiness implicitly acknowledge its absence. Conversely, those who embody the vibrational identity of one already experiencing felicity begin to draw experiences that corroborate this reality. Desperate action masquerades as momentum, yet it is, in reality, stagnation. It is the futile exertion of rowing against the tide solely to demonstrate effort. Inspired action, conversely, originates from devotion, not urgency. It is imbued with a sense of lightness, for it trusts in divine timing. Waiting is not delay, but rather preparation. Just as the seed does not force the sprout, but surrenders to the soil, trusting in the unseen process, so too must you relinquish control. Just the translated text. Ready to put this into practice today? Try swapping "I need to solve this now" with "I create space for the solution to emerge." Test this out with something simple. Instead of forcing a difficult conversation, write a letter of anticipatory gratitude for the solution already realized. Observe how the energy shifts and how answers begin to arise organically. Surrender opens the flow. And it is at this juncture that the heart finds serenity. Thank you, for effort is not the linchpin, but presence. Thank you, for inspired action invariably finds me at the opportune moment. Thank you for dissolving the burden of fear and unlocking the current of trust. Moreover, if presence paves the way, anticipatory gratitude unlocks portals. But this is the revelation that awaits us in the subsequent chapter. Chapter 2. The power of anticipatory gratitude. Have you ever expressed gratitude for something that hasn't yet transpired? It sounds preposterous, but it's precisely this that activates the miracle. Herein lies the secret. Gratitude, experienced prior to manifestation, is a spiritual technology capable of collapsing timelines. It's not about feigning optimism, but rather about aligning your vibrational frequency with the already manifested outcome, only the translated text. When gratitude is expressed solely in retrospect, it is merely a reaction to the manifest. Conversely, when gratitude is offered prospectively, one aligns vibrationally with the object of their desires. It is akin to declaring to the universe, "I already possess this, and I resonate with the frequency of one who already experiences this reality." It is at this juncture that faith transcends mere ideation and becomes a palpable vibration. Imagine the heart as a magnetic field. Gratitude functions as the activation of an unseen magnet, drawing opportunities, individuals, and events into one's orbit. The analogy mirrors the womb. Prior to birth, life is already being silently nurtured. Thus, offering thanks before witnessing is akin to gestating the miracle within until it manifests in the external world. A reader of the book recounted that she spent months petitioning for prosperity, yet saw no change. She prayed, affirmed, sought answers, but scarcity persisted. Upon discovering the practice of anticipatory gratitude, she resolved to give thanks daily for the money she did not yet possess. Soon thereafter, she received a promotion at her job. She stated, "I realized the universe shifted not because I pleaded with greater intensity, but because I finally vibrated as one who already possessed." Herein lies the pivotal shift. Anticipatory gratitude collapses time. What appeared distant is drawn into the present. The human mind perceives waiting as an expanse, but in the spiritual lexicon, time is malleable. To give thanks beforehand is to inhabit the future experience as if it were already the present. This opens a vibrational portal where desire and reality converge. If this resonates with you, inscribe the following in the comments. Gratitude precedes sight. Proclaim this key, for the written word fortifies the vibration you are emitting. Observe, it's not merely about expressing gratitude, it's about embodying it. Manifestation as a lifestyle entails infusing the vibrational essence of the future into the present moment. When you offer thanks in advance, the mind becomes convinced, the body experiences it, and the magnetic field broadcasts the nascent reality. And the universe, perpetually responsive to vibrational resonance, fine-tunes the specifics, just the translated text. Want to practice now? Pen a list of 3 things that haven't yet transpired, yet for which you already express gratitude. For instance, thank you for the new job aligned with my mission. Thank you for the healthy love that already resonates within me. Thank you for the prosperity that sustains my family. Engage in this practice daily and observe how your energy shifts even before the facts themselves undergo alteration. And in the silence of your heart declare, "Thank you, for the unseen is already shifting in my favor. Thank you, for even without sight, I already celebrate. Thank you, for gratitude carves pathways and collapses distances." But remember, if anticipatory gratitude opens the portal, there's something even more profound. Understanding that manifestation never ceases, even when it conjures the undesirable. And that will be unveiled in the next chapter. Chapter 3, Constant Manifestation, even of the wrong things. You don't switch off manifestation when you sleep, nor when you become distracted. You are creating around the clock, whether you intend to or not. This is the aspect that few grasp. You are perpetually manifesting, even the undesirable outcomes. Not because the universe is capricious, but because it faithfully responds to what resonates within you, not merely what you articulate in words. Thoughts, feelings, and beliefs sculpt reality. It's as though your mind is a projector, broadcasting images onto the screen of life. The crux of the matter is that the majority project scenes of fear, doubt, and lack, and then express astonishment when these images materialize. This isn't a form of retribution, it's a reflection of the subconscious. Everything is energy, and your dominant energy coalesces into matter. Consider a mobile phone perpetually connected to an unseen network. If the signal is weak, the transmission falters. If the signal is clear, the message arrives intact. This is how the subconscious functions. It's the antenna continuously transmitting signals to the universe. It's futile to endeavor to change only during prayer or meditation if, for the remainder of the day, the antenna persists in transmitting fear. Manifestation as a state of being entails maintaining a perpetually clear antenna. A young man recounted that he would habitually repeat, "Nothing ever works out for me." He couldn't fathom why he only attracted problems. He attributed it to misfortune or even divine punishment. But upon discovering that even these words were manifestations, he resolved to alter his discourse to, "Things flow in my favor." Just weeks later, he secured the professional contract he had been pursuing for years. He realized it wasn't life being against him, it was his own frequency. Herein lies the revelation. Painful results are not punishment, they are vibrational reflections. This alters everything because it removes culpability and restores agency. If you create even unintentionally, then you can begin to create consciously. If the subconscious has been conditioned in fear, it can be reprogrammed in vibrational faith. Only the translated text. Consciousness dissolves automatic repetition. When you realize that even your stray thoughts shape the field, you begin to vigilantly monitor your energy with affection. It's not about policing every thought, but cultivating a stable vibrational foundation. You cannot cease to think, but you can curate the subject matter of your thought. That is the crux of the matter, to disengage from autopilot. A potent practice involves crafting subtle reminders throughout the day, phrases affixed to mirrors, cellular alarms punctuated with empowering affirmations, or even a computer password that proclaims abundance. In this manner, you condition your subconscious to shift its operational frequency. With the passage of time, your dominant vibratory state elevates, and reality responds with effortless synchronicity. And in the depths of your being declare, "Thank you, for even my missteps become lessons. Thank you, for I am not a victim of circumstance, but a conscious creator. Thank you, for every thought can be redirected toward the good." But if manifestation is a constant, it's critical to grasp an even greater law. Everything is energy, and the universe responds solely to frequency. And this is what awaits us in the forthcoming chapter. Chapter 4, All is Energy. Harmonize to receive. It's not the magnitude of your request, but rather the intensity of your vibration that dictates your reception. Life doesn't heed pleas, nor does it accommodate desperation. Everything is energy, and the universe acknowledges solely the language of vibration. It doesn't parse isolated words, but instead the coherence between what you feel, think, and believe. That's precisely why one might iterate a statement 1,000 times without witnessing any transformation. The dominant energy doesn't reside in the phrase itself, but in the underlying sentiment. The universe responds to frequency, not to isolated intention. When there's incoherence, declaring, "I am prosperous," while vibrating with a fear of lack, the field reciprocates with more scarcity. Manifestation is energetic coherence, not mechanical exertion. Consider a radio. You can fiddle with the dial, crank up the volume, even bang on the device, but if it's not tuned to the correct frequency, you won't hear the music you desire. Manifestation functions similarly. It's futile to clamor for prosperity if your internal tuning remains fixed on the channel of scarcity. The key lies in shifting your vibrational station, not in amplifying the volume of your voice. Herein lies the crux. The universe mirrors your identity, not your superficial aspirations. You do not manifest that which you beseech, but rather that which you are. If your vibrational signature is fear, external prosperity will prove untenable. Conversely, when you perceive yourself as abundance incarnate, the material world initiates a realignment, conforming to that very consciousness. If that resonated, comment now. I choose to vibrate abundance. This very act of writing is already a frequency alignment, already a declaration of vibratory identity. Observe how the manifestation is not an isolated ritual. It is manifestation as a state of being. The magnetic field surrounding you responds constantly, as if it were a mirror. When energetic correspondence is present, doors open effortlessly. When it is not, everything grinds to a halt, even with sweat and sacrifice. Therefore, it is wiser to cultivate the vibration than to persist in struggle. Just the translated text. Care to practice this? Observe your energetic state prior to making decisions. Ask yourself, am I choosing from a place of fear or from one of confidence? If you feel a sense of heaviness, pause. If you feel a sense of lightness, proceed. Another practice. Before closing your eyes for sleep, envision your life already operating on the correct channel. Visualize, feel, and offer gratitude. In this way, throughout the night, the subconscious continues to transmit the desired frequency. And declare within yourself, gratitude for the omnipresent energy, gratitude for the capacity to modulate my frequency, thereby transmuting my existence, gratitude for the universe's responsiveness to the coherence of my being. And if all is energy, a more profound query arises. When immediate fruition eludes us, is it merely a delay? Or is divine timing orchestrating something of grander magnitude? This is what we shall unveil in the ensuing chapter. Chapter 5. Trusting in Divine Timing. Had you arrived sooner, you would not have been prepared. Should you arrive later, you would no longer be in need. In divine timing, everything unfolds precisely as it must. The ego labels this as delay. Yet, spiritual wisdom unveils. Waiting is not loss. It is, in fact, the crucible of preparation. The mere imposition of results signals urgency, and urgency is merely fear in disguise. This compulsion for immediate gratification obstructs the natural flow. It's akin to plucking unripe fruit. Instead of nourishment, only bitterness ensues. Divine timing never errs. It withholds that which you desire, not in denial, but in safeguarding it until the requisite vibrational maturity is present to sustain it. Just imagine a cake baking in the oven. If you pull it out too soon, it collapses. If you wait the requisite time, it rises firm and delectable. Such is life. The universe silently bakes promises while you fortify yourself to receive them. It is within this interval that patience, vibrational faith, and the identity that underpins the blessing are forged. A woman recounted how she had beseeched a healthy relationship for an extended period. Nothing transpired, and she believed it was a punishment. However, upon studying the principles of the book, she realized divine timing was at play. Years later, when she had matured and elevated her vibrational identity, she encountered someone who mirrored her new self. In her own words, if it had arrived sooner, it would have been destructive. Today, it was perfect. Here's the crux of it. Receiving before the appointed time can obliterate what you've sought. It stings to acknowledge, yet it rings true. How many have been granted prosperity prematurely, only to see it slip through their fingers? How many have prematurely entered into relationships, resulting in utter devastation? The delay you dread is, in actuality, a safeguard from the unseen. The act of waiting at its core is a cultivation of trust. It is within the quietude of ordinary days that one demonstrates the genuine conviction that provision is already assured. Surrender and flow become manifest when you grasp that time does not impede, but rather orchestrates. Spiritual maturity does not demand haste, but rather perseverance. And each day of waiting, devoid of despair, reinforces the magnetic field of abundance. Only the translated text. When you find yourself beset by anxiety regarding something yet unattained, undertake this exercise. Enumerate 3 reasons to be grateful for the not yet. For instance, thank you, for I am cultivating patience. Thank you, for I have not been granted something that could potentially inflict harm. Thank you, for my faith is burgeoning. This practice recalibrates your frequency, aligning it with confidence rather than haste, and within yourself declare, I am grateful for divine timing never falters. I am grateful, for every instance of waiting is both safeguard and preparation. I am grateful for I forfeit nothing. All that is meant for me will find me at the appointed hour. But if divine timing orchestrates every minute detail, there remains another critical element: to embody manifestation not as a solitary ritual, but as an all-encompassing ethos. This will be elucidated in the forthcoming chapter. Chapter 6. Manifestation as a way of life. Manifesting isn't a parlor trick you trot out occasionally. It's who you elect to be every single day. The grand unveiling is this: manifestation as a lifestyle, not as an isolated ritual. Many subscribe to the notion that a single prayer, a solitary exercise, or a specific entreaty suffices. However, the mechanism operates differently. The cosmos mirrors your intrinsic identity, not your superficial aspirations. If your daily existence resonates with a frequency of scarcity, then meditating for 10 minutes on abundance proves futile. The field of influence responds to the prevailing signal, to that which is constant. It is about consistent resonance, not isolated episodes. Consider a garden. It's futile to water it once a week and then neglect it on other days. The plant responds to consistent nurturing. Manifestation is the same. It's not the ritual, it's the everyday. Every word, every choice, every habit communicates to the universe who you are. Your vibrational field is like soil. What you sow daily multiplies. Here's the crux of it. You're not merely manifesting when you engage in the practice, but perpetually, even in the most quotidian gestures. The manner in which you handle currency in your wallet, the way you behold yourself in the mirror, even the inflection with which you express gratitude for the water you imbibe, all transmit a vibrational identity. The minutiae coalesce into a spiritual pronouncement. If this resonates, comment, "My life is already manifestation." Write this to firmly anchor in your mind the understanding that you do not separate spiritual practice from daily life. You are continuous energy. When manifestation evolves into a lifestyle, the very environment echoes its resonance. Your home, your social sphere, your utterances, everything vibrates with the intention. If you aspire to prosperity, cleanse your living space, arrange your workspace meticulously, and dress with purpose. Manifesting isn't about pursuit. It's about embodying the desired identity in every minute detail. This unwavering consistency generates an unbreakable magnetic field. A practical approach? Select a straightforward habit that embodies your vibrational identity. For instance, if you desire abundance, consistently keep a crisp bill in your wallet and offer gratitude each time you glance at it. If you aspire to love, nurture your body with tenderness, preparing a meal as an act of self-love. If peace is your aim, establish daily rituals of silence. Such gestures serve to sustain the desired vibration. And within your innermost being, proclaim, Gratitude for the very essence of my life as manifestation. Gratitude for the dissolution of any dichotomy between the spiritual and the quotidian. Gratitude for the inherent communication in every action, conveying my authentic self to the cosmos. Yet, while inhabiting manifestation fundamentally alters reality, an even more profound key exists: surrender, relinquishing control and yielding to the natural flow. This is the enigma of the forthcoming chapter. Chapter 7. Surrender unlocks the flow. The tighter your grip, the more life slips away. But when you relinquish control, everything begins to gravitate towards you. The crux of the matter lies in this: surrender unlocks the flow. It's not about resignation, it's about magnetism. To control is to resist. It is akin to cupping water in one's hands. The more tightly one grips, the more it slips through the fingers. When you yield, you are not relinquishing desire, but rather allowing the universe to orchestrate the path, to manifest not through exertion, but through presence. It is at this juncture that grace supplants the burden of struggle. Envision a river. If you endeavor to swim against the current, you will exhaust yourself. Yet, when you yield, the water itself becomes your conveyance. This is the essence of energy. When you relinquish control, the magnetic field expands. The universe flows like a current, and what once seemed remote now arrives with effortless ease. A business magnate disclosed that he only managed to unlock his financial life when he ceased to micromanage every detail. Previously, he lived in a state of perpetual anxiety, striving to force clients and deals. When he resolved to surrender to the flow and trust, opportunities materialized that he could never have foreseen. He himself stated, "I earned more in 6 months than in the preceding 6 years because I let go of control." Here's the pivotal shift. Surrender is not abnegation. It is allowance. He who clings to control vibrates with fear. He who surrenders vibrates with trust. And trust is the most magnetic disposition imaginable. It is within this very state that miracles transpire, for you demonstrably attest on an energetic level that you already hold the conviction that all is being meticulously attended to. If this resonates, comment now. I release and trust. This written declaration is already an act of liberation, a reprogramming of the subconscious mind. Note, the more you insist on manipulating, the more you become ensnared. The universe does not respond to obstinacy, but to vibrational coherence. Surrender and flow are gateways to greater experiences, ones the ego could never orchestrate. It is in this space that synchronicities emerge, individuals materialize, and unforeseen solutions germinate. It is life-saying, "At last you have permitted me to operate." Only the translated text. Considering application, identify a desire you're striving for and inscribe. I release this to divine timing. I trust it is already accomplished. Subsequently, engage in a light activity. Take a walk, immerse yourself in an inspirational book, dance. This pause isn't an evasion, it's faith in action. It's through this that energy restructures itself, unburdened, and silently declare, "Thank you that I don't need to control. Thank you because surrender is to permit the miracle. Thank you because everything flows when I let go." But there is an even bolder revelation. What you seek is not outside, but within, vibrating as an inseparable part of who you are. This is the mystery of the next chapter. Chapter 8. You are not separate from what you seek. You needn't chase that which inherently constitutes your essence. The object of your yearning doesn't reside externally. It already resonates within your very being. This is the epiphany. You are indivisible from your aspirations. Suffering originates from the illusion of distance. To believe that abundance, love, or peace reside externally fosters an abyss between oneself and that which already exists in potential. Yet when you recall that the universe mirrors your identity, understanding dawns. It is not about attainment, but rather recognition. Desire serves solely as a poignant reminder of that which already dwells within, awaiting activation. Envision the sun and its emanations. The ray is not severed from the sun, it is an extension of it. Likewise, you are an extension of the divine field. Your desire has already taken form. It exists in a state of becoming. You do not chase after light. You merely draw back the curtains. So it is with abundance and love. They are not conquered, but rather allowed to radiate. A young woman used to repeat that one day she would have peace, but she discovered in a book that peace already resided within her. She established small rituals of silence, offering gratitude before sleep. Within a few weeks, the symptoms of anxiety vanished. She understood that she did not need to seek externally, she already was. And she realized that desire was not a future prospect, but rather a vibrational identity awaiting remembrance. Herein lies the pivotal shift. Manifesting isn't about summoning something from without. It's about remembering who you already are. Upon this realization, the striving dissipates. Desire relinquishes its frenetic pace, transforming into a return to one's vibratory essence. It is within this remembrance that suffering dissolves. If this key resonates with you, comment now. I already am what I seek. Writing is an act of embodying the vibration, a declaration to the subconscious of the absence of separation. Observe how this fundamentally alters everything. Instead of supplicating for love, you overflow. Instead of chasing after wealth, you incarnate prosperity. Instead of imploring for peace, you become living stillness, manifesting not through exertion, but through presence. When you comprehend that you already are, the universe merely corroborates with external realities. Just the translated text. Do you want to practice this? Every time you feel a lack, close your eyes and declare, I already am that frequency. If you lack love, say, I am love in motion. If you lack prosperity, say, I am abundance vibrating now. This simple exercise dismantles the illusion of distance and reprograms the magnetic field. And in your innermost self, declare, thank you, for there is no separation. Thank you, because what I seek already vibrates within me. Thank you, because I am an extension of the divine, and everything I desire already belongs to me in essence. And thus, this cycle of chapters closes. But there is more, for now comes the strategic introduction, where we reveal the title and open the portal of transformation. Now I speak to you as a mentor speaks to their disciple. You were not made to chase, you were made to manifest. If until now you believed that life only changes with desperate effort, today you know the truth. Energy speaks louder than action without direction. I want you to embrace your vibrational identity now. Write in the comments, I already am what I seek. Not just for me, but for yourself, so that your subconscious mind engraves this new frequency. Each word you leave here is a seed planted in your magnetic field. And I tell you with authority, do not wait for perfection to begin. Start where you are, with what you have, and see how the universe responds to your courage to align. Those who practice what they have heard today witness miracles. Those who only watch and do not act remain trapped on autopilot. So if you are ready to break the cycle of scarcity and enter the flow of conscious manifestation, subscribe to the channel now. Activate notifications, and choose to be in this movement. It's not just another video, it's a call to a lifestyle. Because remember, the universe does not respond to superficial desires, it responds to your identity. And the final question I leave is, who will you decide to be from now on?